TorgyTalk. 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 All right. Welcome to TorgyTalk, everybody. We got our first time guest on here, Charlie Bourne. I wish I had my guy that pressed the buttons so he could hit the applause button.
Oh, it's all
It
good.
would have been. Yeah, so, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Now
man.
we're how far did you have to drive?
It was about an hour.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not terrible.
Came from the Northwest Burbs. It was weird, though. It took me, like, I was just anticipating jumping on 90, but it took me all the way through, like, it took me up, like, Rand, like, side streets, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it took a little bit
I'm assuming
longer.
it take you, what, like 290 to 53 to Lake Cook Road and shit like that way, and like 12 the whole way?
Yeah.
Yep. I hate taking 12. I mean, it shouldn't have been too bad on a Sunday evening. The traffic shouldn't have been
No, it was all right. It was
Yeah.
all right. People were still, like, ripping on the river, so it was like, I figured
Gotcha.
a bunch of, like, people just coming back from having a day out on the river.
Right.
But yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, I appreciate you coming. That's one thing with getting people from the, I mean, you're not quite the city, but I've had people come up here and it sucks, but I mean, until I can take that thing everywhere with me and do audio wherever I want. And I suppose I could record on my phone, like video, but it's just so much easier. Everything's right here.
Yeah.
So I just appreciate you coming.
For sure, man. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I could see if it was somebody who was like super busy or somebody who's like I live in the city, I don't have a car. Then it'd be like, you know what? If I can make it mobile and come to you,
yeah, which is
cool,
what I want to do for sure. But I just, like I said, if I had a laptop, it'd be a little easier. That would actually be perfect if I had a laptop. I could do everything mobile. But I just had I had a Mac desktop. It was like a 2013, and it just like took a shit on me. And I just got that PC, so it's like I didn't want to take a chance on a laptop. I'm like, I need something that I know that I can add to and upgrade if I need to. So my buddy Mike hooked me up with that. So
nice.
Yeah, that fucking Mac, man. Because once you get past a certain, like 7 years or whatever, you can't really upgrade them anymore.
You can't upgrade them anymore. Yeah, I had one that was the exact same thing. It like missed like one of the software updates.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't go back. I couldn't like retrograde update it.
Right, you have to go back to that one, then upgrade it to go. You have to go in order and shit.
Like,
And
there was still some usability, but like it was just like certain things. It was like, oh, you can't use this without the software update. And I'm like, well, it just turned into a brick.
Yeah, like my videos editing software. Like I was missing out on so much shit because I had the version from like 2017.
Yeah,
and now I got the 2024 version. There's like so many AI options on there and shit, and it's just like. It's sweet. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. It's awesome having something that's and I can add to it too if I need to.
Yeah.
Well, Mike can add to it because I'm not opening that thing ever.
What's the program you use for editing?
Filmora.
Okay, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it was like a $75 or $80 one-time charge.
Okay.
What actually sucked is I had my membership when I had the Mac. The Mac. I had it through iOS. So when I got the PC, I had to actually rebuy my fucking membership, which sucked.
Dude.
I'm sure I could have called customer service and got around it, but I had to put out an episode like the next day. So I'm like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
So I ended up just paying for it. And but yeah, no, it's a pretty easy software. I guess the one my one buddy wanted me to get was like that Adobe one, but that one's like you have to pay like a monthly subscription to it. It's like $30 a month. I'm like, fuck
I always
that.
used I always used Shotcut.
Okay.
When the last company I worked at, I had to like I was selling software, and I was always having customers calling in like, oh, we don't know how to do this, don't know how to do this. And I got like a bunch of people that were like, yeah, if we had like a quick like how-to video. So what I was doing like editing videos of me doing like software updates or like how to reinstall this or how to put your own stuff in there. And I was literally just creating YouTube how-to videos using Shotcut. So that was like, and it was like self-taught.
Okay.
Like I'm not a.
So like all on your phone or?
It was no, I actually did it on my PC.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think they've got a mobile app that I looked into when I was starting to figure out how to do like editing for like comedy videos.
Yeah.
But it's like too much firepower. It's kind of like one of those ones where it's it's got like all the different like how if you put in like an audio track or like a video track and then putting in picture in picture, it's got like all the stuff that you would need for like a good high quality edit. Luckily, I only had to do like quick 31 minute, 30-second 1 minute videos. I didn't have to go crazy with it.
Yeah, see with this dude, I made this as easy as humanly possible. When I first started the podcast, I was actually recording off of that thing up there, and I was getting a lot of like reverb. Anyway, it was just we were recording off of QuickTime Player off the Mac.
Oh yeah,
we were recording off that, and then recording the audio onto a audio software called Ableton, and then we were lining it all up in post production. So we would clap in the beginning, like you know how they do like the action or whatever.
Right.
So we would clap, and that would take it would take me like 5, 6, 7 hours to edit these fucking hour episodes. And then I found out that you could just record it in Filmora, and it lines up the fucking audio right out of that thing. So I don't have to do it. All I have to do is slap on the intro, slap on the outro. Boom. And sometimes, depending on who the guest is, edit out any N-words. That's about it. I haven't had to do that in a while, thank God. Yeah. But Addison O'Neill was on here, so I didn't have to edit any of his, thankfully.
Yeah, so, that's shocking.
Yeah.
Saw him the other night. He's doing good. But yeah, he's funny, man. But yeah, no N-words for me. Again, that's a Charlie Bourne guarantee.
There you go. Hell yeah. It's not a Trace Jenkins guarantee. Right. Holy shit, dude. I saw a video.
He posted it.
I can't believe you. Why would you post that?
I mean, okay. So here's the thing. He's like, I'm not gonna.
I didn't see the whole.
I saw the clip,
joke.
and I gotta say, like, I wasn't there. It was funny. I got there late. I was coming from another mic that night, and I got there, and the second I walked in, I think probably 6 people were like, dude, I got a story for you. By the time I got to the back to order a drink, people were like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, I already heard, you know. So I didn't hear it in person, but I watched the clip that he posted online, and I was like, man, like the sentiment was there. Like it wasn't like he was doing it to be mean.
Right.
But
I vaguely remember the setup for it, but I'm just like, whoa.
Well, what's crazy is like if I remember it right, like it was like referencing like a movie, which is what a lot of his stuff is about.
Right. True.
So I was just kind of like, hey, I get it. Like he's doing a direct quote, but I was also just kind of like, hey, man, like you can still do the quote without saying.
For sure. Yeah. That was ballsy. Hey, you got to take moves. You got to take risks. You got to take risks, I guess.
Yeah.
Got to risk it to get the biscuit in comedy, I guess.
I guess. I'll eat a different biscuit.
Yeah, me too. I'll eat a.
I just don't want to make it harder on myself.
Exactly. Seriously. You know? Oh, man. Holy shit. So before I get into those topics, look what came in the mail up there. You see that?
That astronaut thing?
No, to the right, the picture.
Oh, nice! Living in a van down by the river.
Yep, but it's a Van Gogh down by the river.
Dude,
yeah, I fucking saw that on TikTok Shop. I'm like buying that immediately.
Dude, that's hilarious. Man.
Yeah.
So it's actually like really good. What is that like? Is that like a little stretch canvas?
Yeah, it's a canvas, dude. It's actually pretty sweet. Oh boy, there goes the phone. Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
Oh, that is dope. Yeah, that's exactly kind of like what I pictured that was looking like. That's awesome.
That's badass. It was like $25. I'm like, dude, I'll take that.
Hell yeah.
Because whenever I build out the studio in the basement, I'm going to put a bunch of cool pictures up on the wall, and this is definitely going to be one of them for sure.
Nice.
So,
yeah. I don't have a lot of decorations around my place because I'm a single guy, and
Yeah.
But I do have a framed picture of Soldier Field from 1929.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah, that one's hanging behind me on the wall. Like when I'm at work and I'm like doing like a video call or whatever. That's what's behind me.
Speaking of that, I actually pulled these out thinking that I might show them to you because these are pretty cool too. I got some fucking. My mom used to work, or she actually still works at the dental office where the Bears have their dental contract.
Oh hell yeah.
There's an autograph for me from Walter Payton.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah, I got that one. I think it was
badass.
Jim Morrissey.
Oh, nice.
And then I don't know who the fuck that is. But yeah, my mom got a bunch of fucking autographs.
Oh no, I was thinking. I don't know. I couldn't tell if that was a T or a D because it looked like
it looked Taylor like kind of
maybe
like Dale Taylor.
The first one it looked like Dale at first, but then I was like looking. I was like, maybe it's Dave Dewerson, but that's not. That wasn't Dave Dewerson's number. That looks like I can't tell. It looks like a 15.
That's what I think so too.
I don't know. We need to see the.
But Jim Harbaugh. This was to my mom though.
Oh hell yeah!
She got Jim Harbaugh's autograph.
Yeah.
So like I said, she works at the dental office, Lake Forest Smiles, and. Yeah, when I was like a kid, I would just go there. I met the fridge. I barely remember it, but like I vaguely remember meeting all these pro players, and it was super fucking cool, man.
Dude, that's so crazy.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of shit that I'm gonna frame and hang up on the wall in the basement once I get the studio all built up. Then I got this flag that my buddy made for me, and
that's sweet.
I got a fucking big fucking job downstairs. But like I was talking to you before, I got to kind of wait on things until I'm healthy. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I cannot wait for it to be downstairs, dude.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be half the basement,
dude. That's
with a table
incredible.
in the middle.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm all about that. Like I love like the real fans, like the sports fans who just like, you know what, this entire room of the house is gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be fucking comedy, music, sports, podcast, table in the middle.
Nice.
That's gonna be legit. I can't wait. Yeah. I actually just was just checking the YouTube and got the biggest views on the last reel I posted on YouTube. Got 8.1 thousand views.
Oh shit! There you go.
I was like beat the last one by like 6,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I must have hashtagged it correctly, but we'll take it.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't understand YouTube. I don't understand Instagram or TikTok. TikTok I've had the most success with, I think, on views at least.
Mm-hmm.
But like, dude, it's all the hashtags and shit, man. It's like when they first started doing hashtags, I was like, oh my god, it's so gay. Stop hashtagging everything. Like hashtag love life, whatever the fuck you're. But I'm like, I get it. Why you're hashtagging? It's to people like, you know, when they're searching shit, it, you know, brings you to that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, oh, I get it now. But yeah, so it actually means something, and I'm like figuring it out. So I'm like trying to hashtag as much as humanly possible.
Yeah,
but
I don't understand like the whole thing. I know there's a science behind it. I know that there's like, you know, there's some things you can do to like generate more like viewing or whatever. I'm just like, hey man, like hopefully
I've tried paying like to boost, like, so like I'll put out like a podcast clip on TikTok, and I paid to promote it.
Yeah,
I paid like $20. It got me like 50 followers.
Yeah.
But then somebody comments on it like, why is this paid promotion? I'm like, I don't know, dude. I just thought that's what I'm just trying to get myself out there, dude.
Yeah.
Like I have a job. I'm able to do this. Like I'm not just solely a content creator.
Right.
Like,
why is this paid promotion? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, seriously. I mean, I have the money to pay for the promotion, I guess. I don't know. It's just like
feed the algorithm.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is my contribution.
But then there's like, I'll get messages all the time because like on the TorgyTalk page, especially on Instagram, I'll get messages for like people that like run pages that like run people's social media. So it's like you pay them $50 a month and they can guarantee you some odd amount of followers per month. And they can, I want to try it, but I'm like, it feels like it's a fucking scam.
Yeah, that's my first thinking, you know, because I get like
some of them have a lot of followers though. Some of them look legit. I'm like, oh fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm like skeptical on the border of like cynical. So I'm always I always get like DMs from people that are like, oh, we're running like a brand ambassador program. Like we could partner together and this and that. And I'm just like, what? Like, right. I don't know. Maybe it's just like my thing. Maybe I just don't like put in the right effort or like, that's not my goal. I don't know.
I see that was me for the podcast. I just wanted to get it out there as much as I could, but I'm like, you know what? I did it a couple times. It was probably like the first 20 episodes I started doing that, not really knowing what I was doing. And I'm like, no, I think you have to just have it happen organically. You just got to have a viral clip. You just got to post it at the right time, which I've also found that's very important too, posting at the right times, which I don't know what the right time is still. But I've learned like right around like 11:30 in the morning, that's a good time. 6 p.m., that's a good time. 2 p.m. is a good time. 3 p.m., 2:31 p.m., not a good time. I don't understand. Like but it's so weird. Like I'm like, okay, cool. I'll post at 11 every week. And then one week it'll get 2,000 views. The next week it'll get 17. I'm like, what?
That's so crazy. I never thought about that it would get so granular to like the paying attention, like what time you post. But I guess that makes sense because like you think about
breaks.
It. Exactly. 11 o'clock, people are like, you know, at the office or whatever, like, all right, I'm not going to do anything. You know, we're all getting ready to go to lunch. Like, so I'm just going to sit here and like scroll on my phone.
Right.
But it would make sense. Like after 1, people they just had a whole hour of looking at their phone on their lunch break. Exactly. They got to get back to work. Yeah. You know, so I guess that makes sense.
I personally thought like 7, 8 o'clock at night would have been perfect. Yeah. And it's not. It's weird. That's like when I get the least amount of views. I don't know. It's so weird. And I've posted at like 11:30 at night one time, and it worked.
It's because all the guys are like sitting down after the day and they're like, all right, I'll take out the phone. And then the wife is like, why are you always on your phone? So that's
seriously.
That's why nobody's looking.
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
Oh man. But yeah, so it's I don't know. It's all learning. Like I said, I think I've the hashtagging thing I think has definitely gotten me more views.
Yeah. Well, how long have you been how long have you had the podcast going?
So this will be episode 58, I think. Okay. 58 or 59. We've skipped weeks here and there. Like I skipped a month one time, like, you know, fucking kids, life.
Life gets in the way.
This is after a 2-week break. So I started it right before I started comedy, and I started comedy in March of 23. I released the first episode on my birthday of 23. So January of 23 is when we started it.
Okay, nice.
So
well, I figure like at this point, you're probably still like learning a bunch of stuff. Like the learning curve is like still like you're on the upswing. So I'm kind of like
I still fuck up all the time.
Yeah,
like where I had Allison, Big Al over here.
Oh yeah, love her.
We recorded almost 2 hours, and my computer just shit on me and just didn't record it because my storage was full. Now I have an external hard drive, so everything from the podcast gets routed directly to there, so nothing gets full.
Yeah,
so it's like 2 terabytes, and I delete it right after anyway.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But like, so we did 2 hours, and it's like this was like a month ago. Yeah. It's like, dude, I'm so embarrassed. Like this is like I just want this. Well, thing. I want it to blow up so I can pay somebody to do this, so I don't have to fucking worry about it.
Yeah, it's that's kind of what I was telling you with like Veronica's podcast. She had me on, and we had a great episode, a great conversation. We were like dying laughing, and then like things happen in life, and it was just like it's not going to get released, and it's like all right, whatever. At least it was still a good conversation. Yeah. But what I was going to say is like. You're still in the kind of like the, the prelims where it's just like, I'd rather get all the mistakes out of right now and keep building on it and get it to a point where I'm like really happy with every episode
for sure.
And then get big.
Yep.
Because then once it gets big, people go back and look at like the old clips, like, hey, let's go look at like, TorgyTalk from like episode 20, right? When it was just like, clunky.
A shit show.
Yeah, dude. Like
even from now, like if you listen to episode, like, I don't know, pick a number, anything below 30. Mm-hmm. Even below 40, dude, like from now till then, from then till now is like, it's like astronomically different. Like as far as like, not like tooting my own horn, but like with the ability to like keep the conversation flowing and like get rid of the dead air. And I mean, sometimes we have some fucking goofy ass episodes, dude. Like with Devin, he used to play. Did you ever come back to the Gambler when it was just the writer's room after the Gauntlet left?
I don't think you did. So. No, okay, I think I hadn't even been up there for a little while before.
So Devin, he was helping me with the podcast for a while. He taught me how to do Filmora. Anyway, he was doing the sound for us for the open mic at the Gambler after the Gauntlet left.
Okay.
And fuck, I don't even know where the fuck I was going with this. As I'm just bragging about how I can keep a conversation going.
You were talking about just kind of starting out and like getting all the mistakes out of the way now before you get big.
Right. So he would when he first started coming on the podcast, he would bring his keyboard and he would just like play random shit during it.
Oh yeah.
And we have some goofy ass fucking episodes, and like he says some wild off the wall shit sometimes. Like one time out of nowhere, he's just like, "Oh, I hung Mission Impossible style from my kitchen and dropped my cock into my NutriBullet." I'm like, "What did you even just say to me?" I'm like, "That's what is that?"
I understand all those words independently, but together,
I'm like, "What?" So like, so they were just wild, like what do we say type of shit. Like, do we have to be off the walls to be funny? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a lot of figuring shit out. I don't know, man. It's fun though. Even if the biggest view I ever get is 8,000 views, I'm gonna continue to do it because I just enjoy it, dude. Like I've had some where we've gotten like 3 hours of content just getting fucking drunk.
Oh yeah,
and just it's fun.
It's a good time.
It's a blast. Yeah,
it's a good time. It's good to have that kind of like those moments like encapsulated, right? You got a video of it, and to your point, I mean, like shit, dude. Like I look at videos that I put up on like YouTube, and it's like just clips of me doing comedy. And it's like 25 people, 25 views.
Yeah.
And like, 25 views is like nothing. But it's also like, but think about if you're playing a room in front of 25 people. Like that, I'd be like, this is a pretty decent turnout.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm having a good time
Absolutely,
now.
Yeah.
So when it's like 8,000 views, you're like, holy crap, dude.
Yeah, the one before that was 2.5 thousand. That's when I had Stephanie Robertson and Peyton Ruddy on.
Oh, yeah.
That one, I had one short in there that, got like 2.5 thousand views. And other than that, I was like, holy shit. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of the things where it's like, when those moments happen, like, fuck yeah, celebrate it, have a good time, and then it's like do another episode, and I mean, I don't have a podcast, but I think for me it would just be like, all right, don't be bummed if this one only has 100 views. Like,
right, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty used to like looking at my catalog for the week and showing the downloads, and I'm like, I had fun.
Yeah.
Fuck it. They'll listen eventually. You gotta be patient.
To listen.
I mean, it takes some podcasts, a couple hundred episodes to get recognized. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm only on episode not even 60 yet. So.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, once we get this set up downstairs and get more cameras going, I just also need somebody behind the computer switching cameras and shit.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
It'd be ideal to have an AV guy.
I know Jack Van Johnson was interested in it for a while, and he knows how to use OBS. That's the system I use.
Yeah.
When I'm not doing this, because this can only record one camera at a time. But OBS, you can do like 3-4 cameras, and then you just need somebody to press 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, that's not bad.
The cameras. Yeah,
that's not bad.
And he knows how to use OBS because he streams. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's a video game streaming software.
Oh, okay.
But it lines up the audio and video and camera switching all in real time, so you don't have to do anything in post production.
See, if I ever
what I'm all about, dude.
Yeah,
Easy
100%.
editing, dude.
I was gonna say like I haven't ever thought about doing like a podcast, but if I did, it would have to be. I would just like I would outsource to some like Gen Z kid who like knows the technology. Like I've gotten to that point where I'm like,
well, I was lucky to
young
have
kid to help me out.
I was lucky to have Devin. I mean, Devin learned how to use this and then taught me. He taught himself, then taught me.
Dang.
But I'm not, because he can watch a YouTube video and learn it. I have to have somebody fucking show me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I've always been like that. I can never, I don't know. Show me and then I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me a long time when I was doing stuff with like Shotcut. It took me like a while. Like I'd Google like how to do this in Shotcut and then watch the YouTube tutorial and then go back and do it. And after a while, you start to get the hang of things. It's weird. I don't think it's like as intuitive. Like, you know how like when we were little, like you could just pick up a video game controller and figure it out.
Yeah,
I think that's like what it is with like kids now with like YouTube and TikTok and
which
stuff.
is just way more complex than what we had though. Like, I feel like I feel like I couldn't pick up this and just figure it out. Like I don't know. It's funny with Filmora too. Is every fucking YouTube tutorial is this one Korean dude and he barely speaks English, and I'm like,
he's like the guy.
He's like the guy, and I'm like, good for you, bud. But I'm like, I don't understand a word you're saying. he's helped me out of a few problems though. So give it to him there. But fucking Bears, dude.
Dude, we need. Okay, well, first off, I mean,
how do you feel about week 1?
I'm glad the defense is good, dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad the defense is good, and it's funny because like I've been trying to keep my mouth shut because for the longest time I was like a Fields apologist. I was just like, hey,
if you go back on this podcast, you'll hear me. I was all in on fucking Justin Fields. I loved him.
Yeah,
I loved him from when he was on QB1 on Netflix.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm a big Buckeyes fan, so it's cool to see that like kind of like graduation into the NFL. And he kind of had this whole. He came into the league with this like persona of like, I've been like. People are not giving me the respect that I, earned at Ohio State and everything like that. And then it just was just a disaster. There was a bunch of factors. My thing was kind of like, he's going into his final year of his contract. Let's at least hold on to him. Sure, I totally get it. New regime change. We want a franchise quarterback. He's not the guy. I wasn't really thinking that he was going to get cut, but, trade away for, what, 6th-round pick?
I was hoping they were going to just extend him a year.
Yeah.
And hold out. I know, but I know they couldn't pass up on Caleb Williams. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, man, I was all in on Justin Fields, dude. I liked him a lot. But yeah, they can't pass. I think if Justin Fields was put into the situation that Caleb Williams is in, he would have been way more successful with Eberflus, with fucking a new OC.
Yeah,
a new GM because he had Matt Nagy trying to run that offense.
Yeah,
and then fucking switched it over to Laser, whatever the fuck his last name was.
Honestly, I think the biggest win for the Bears has been the change of GM.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Ryan Poles is doing some good things, man.
Yeah, Pace took the same. It's like the same style of gambles, or like the same style of picks, but like completely wrong. Like it was like everybody knew from like the Trubisky pickup. And it was like, okay, we're all like putting on a happy face, but like
everybody's like, no, Deshaun Watson should have been that pick. Yeah. Even passing on Patrick Mahomes was understandable, but for Trubisky over Mahomes, no way.
It was like, fine, I like the aggressive trade up, get a high draft pick, but then like why
for a guy that so he just
it was like one of those things, and then Fields came in in the wake of that, in the aftermath of that. So he was already kind of fighting, from an up, fighting uphill. So yeah, there might have been more success if he would have come in kind of if the roles were reversed, like you said.
Right, for sure.
But yeah, I wasn't like, I hadn't fully committed to like Caleb Williams, and I was saying it all spring, all through summer, into training camp. I was like, I don't know if he's the guy. And then the preseason, he looked really good.
He looked really good.
I was like, well, I can't be like he's not the guy, right? So I was just like, but I'm very superstitious with sports. I was like, well, they're looking good, and you've been talking shit this whole time, so you have to continuously talking shit.
Yeah. What'd you think about him? I knew he was going to do it, but painting his nails orange and then hashtag the Bears, whatever the fuck he put on there. I'm like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, if that's your thing, bro, cool. But you better throw for fucking 350 and 3 touchdowns today, bitch. And you throw for 92 with no touchdowns. But he didn't throw any interceptions.
No interceptions.
I'll give him that. And how many? What was the last rookie to win their first game as a starter? It was like back in 2000 something.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago.
Question.
It was a long time. They had said something like the last rookie to do it was like 2005 or some shit like that.
Yeah,
or something. I don't know.
It's interesting, but the nail painting thing, I think a lot of people they misunderstand what Bears fans are like. Oh, this guy who paints his fucking nails. But yeah, you're right. If he throws for 5 touchdowns and 400 yards, we're gonna be like, bro,
I'll paint my nails too.
That's me at the salon, dude. Exactly. The way I look at it too is kind of like, think of it as like a rock star, right?
Right.
So many of the greatest musicians of our time
wore makeup and lipstick.
Yeah, they were a little eccentric with their appearance, but they put on a hell of a show, and that's what matters, you know?
Yeah.
If you come in here and you're like, you're a bum, well, that's just more shit we're gonna make fun of you about now. Like,
did you watch Hard Knocks?
I didn't.
Okay. So if you watch it, dude, it'll make you really like Caleb because you think you're gonna walk into this dude's gonna be a cocky fuck the whole time,
right?
And no, he's really good in a leadership role. He's not against learning from the people below him, like Brett, that Rippin guy that was a third string quarterback throughout preseason. He learned from him.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't he's not like a fuck you, get out of my face. I don't need to learn from you because I'm the starter.
Yeah.
He was very good at he looked like a team player. I ended up liking him pretty, I'm like, all right, cool. I like this guy. He could be our guy.
Yeah.
And then after seeing those preseason stats, I'm like, ooh, he could be our guy. And I don't know, man. I really think that this week's gonna be a challenge for him because dude, Roma Dunze is out, I believe. I actually saw that he might play. So he might be playing, and then Keenan Allen's out.
Yeah.
So, I've been listening to the CHGO Bears podcast recently, the past month now, and they keep saying, and I agree with it, put in 2 tight ends and run the fucking ball. Run the ball and set up the pass. That's what every other fucking team in the league does.
Yeah. I think they're still kind of undecided on our running game.
DeAndre Swift. We didn't see anything from him in the preseason. Then he came out and he had a pretty decent game last week, I think, right?
Yeah, I felt like the running game is still a little. They've got definitely weapons.
Get rid of Velus Jones in special teams, please. Before I fucking slit my wrists. Dude, how many times has he done that? Why are they trying to force him? He must be doing really good in practice, but dude, he can't do it in a game.
I don't know, man.
Watching him trying to fucking track down a goddamn punch.
So
it's hilarious.
It's something. So I played football in high school and for a year in college. And one thing that thank God I didn't have the. I couldn't hold up under the pressure of receiving a punt.
Oh,
I remember we had a season where our returners all caught the yips, where it was one dude had a few of those where it was muffed punts in games, and then it was just there was such a high pressure position now that they'd throw somebody else in there, and now they're in their own head. They're like, oh, this guy was muffing them, and I saw what happened to him.
Right.
So I think it's just a case of the yips with him, where he's he goes to just.
It's got to be an intimidating fucking thing because you're looking up at this punt, looking back down and see if you're gonna get fucking murdered. Looking back up, oh shit, where is it again?
Well, and it's tough, dude. It's tough.
It's like tracking down a fly ball. It's not easy.
If the ball comes off the guy's foot the wrong way, if there's a weird spiral, you're expecting a spiral, and then it's end over end, and you're like, and then the whole time you got 11 dudes screaming down the field, ready to take your head off.
When I was in high school, I was an athlete. I could track a fly ball down. I could probably catch a punt.
Yeah.
But after I got out of the Army, I went back. My buddy asked me to sub in on a softball team, and I was like, "We need a right fielder." I'm like, "Whatever." Fly ball came. I'm like, "I got this, dude." I was like, I almost threw up after running for it, dude. I got such bad vertigo, and I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck happened?" I was so dizzy, almost fucking passed out because I was so dizzy, and then picked up the ball from the warning track, threw the guy out at second.
Nice.
Couldn't feel my arm for a week. It was pretty sweet.
I never had any issues tracking the fly balls in the outfield, but I think that was just because we played catch so much,
Right,
like with baseballs and baseball gloves. Like,
Yeah, do it
growing up.
now. And it's
Oh my god, dude!
It's like, dude, I felt like I was drunk. I'm like, I don't think I drank before that game. I know we drank after it, but
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that was fucking
Shoulder sore for like a week after.
dude, it was bad because whenever I played baseball, my elbow would hurt.
Oh,
Right here would hurt so bad, and whenever I would pitch, I would throw a curve. Anytime I throw like heavy curveballs that night, my elbow would be shot for a week.
Yeah.
So
tough. It's tough, man. It's tough. The mechanics of that.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, dude, Texans, man, they're looking good, man. I'm really nervous about tonight. Just because CJ Stroud,
another Ohio State quarterback, man.
I also kind of like really need him to do good because he's my fantasy quarterback, but I need the Bears to win though.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's tough when it's playing against your own. I got the Bears defense on my fantasy team. So
I'm playing Cora, my wife, this week because we have like a couples league.
Oh, nice.
We have a couples league, and in that league, I'm 0-1 right now, and I'm like, I sat Zay Flowers. And he got like 18 points. If I would have put him in, I would have been winning right now. But I have 2 players left, and she's got 2 players left, and I'm like, oh god, she's gonna win.
So my this will probably make a lot of people feel better. My week 1 quarterback, Jordan Love.
I had him in my other league.
Freaking goes down. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. Freaking so who was my backup that I put in this week, week 2?
Baker Mayfield.
Freaking mashed potato brains Tua.
Oh no!
I'm like, dude.
No,
I was like, so I lost.
That sucks.
Oh, dude, I lost both my quarterbacks.
You think he's gonna retire? 4 concussions in 2 years.
I mean, I could see him not, just because that's the way those dudes are built. They're like machines. They're like, no, I'm going back out there.
I got so thrown off today. I saw stats rolling on the bottom, and it said Tua's stats. I'm like, he's playing today. He just got a concussion like 2 days ago. I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot.
Wait a minute. Maybe I have the concussion.
Seriously. I'm like, oh, okay, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude.
I had Jordan Love in my other league. I still won last week, but I picked up Baker Mayfield this week.
See, he was available. It's funny.
He ended up picking it up at the end. I got like 18 or 19 points. So
it's funny. I grabbed Justin Fields really quick because I was like, maybe he's got the ability to be a good fantasy quarterback. Not a great quarterback,
right?
But somebody who can get points.
Yeah.
You only need like 15 from your quarterback on average, and you're all right. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. It's funny though with Tua. I was reading a thing that said that if I think I have it right. If the Dolphins, like, if he's forced to retire, if the NFL steps in and is like, we're forcing you to do this, like it's for your health, he still gets the rest of his contract. But if he does it voluntarily, then he gives up all that money. So that's an interesting.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Hopefully the Dolphins do him a solid.
Yeah,
if he's planning on retiring. But
yeah, that's the thing. Is like if he comes out and he's like, "Hey, I think I'm done. I'm hanging it up." Like, yeah, there's got to be something the Dolphins can do.
Right.
I mean, the bean counters there probably are like, "Well, no. I mean, we don't owe you the money, but you don't want to see that kind of thing happen to a guy."
Right. Yeah. So I actually played high school football with a guy that ended up going to the NFL, CJ Fedorowicz.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Johnsburg. He graduated in 2010. Went to Iowa for 3 years, and then got drafted by the Texans. Played there for 4 seasons, and he got 4 concussions in his last 2 years, and then retired.
Oof.
So he played 4 seasons in the NFL and got the fuck out. He's like, yeah, fuck that.
That's
and he was in high school he was fucking 6'7", like 250 or something. Big fucking tight end, dude. And they put him at slot receiver and shit too. Nobody could tackle him.
Oh yeah.
I played with him for 5 games and threw 12 touchdowns to him.
That's insane.
It was so sweet, dude. It was like, oh my god, this is like
it's a cheat code.
Yep. Yeah. It was so cool. But yeah, no, he had so I mean concussion, I mean that CTE shit's real. I mean, I think I have slight CTE.
Yeah.
Not NFL's type CTE. I'm sure it's nowhere near as bad as those guys, obviously, but I got fucking hit a lot.
Yeah.
Especially my senior year.
Yeah, I got my bell rung a couple times, especially in college when it was like, oh, everybody's so much bigger and faster. Things hurt way more here.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to I could have gone to Quincy University to play quarterback.
Okay.
Or Wisconsin Lutheran, but I ended up not doing that. I ended up just going in the Army.
Nice.
But yeah, I got my belt rung quite a few fucking times in high school. So I'm glad I didn't play college football because, dude, I'm telling you, my senior year, we went 0-9, dude. It was bad. It was bad. My senior year, because we had no linemen, dude. It was just terrible. I got sacked at least 6 times a game.
Yeah.
Slammed to the fucking ground.
Yeah, that's no fun.
No, it was brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely probably have some bruises on the brain from that season.
Yeah, yep. And fuck, the first time when I got moved up from sophomore year to play varsity, the first game I played was versus Prairie Ridge, and I got my fucking.
They're still good.
I remember that was the first time we beat them. Was the game that I played was the first time we beat them in our school's history. I was just waiting for it. I'm like, dude, just hit me, just get it over with, just hit me. And I dropped back through a slant route, and dude, my fucking feet flew off the ground. Oof. And our coach kept replaying the fucking film, and everybody was just laughing their asses off. And then the next week we played Grades Lake North, and I got this like 290-pound nose guard, fucking helmet to helmet contact, and then head into the turf. And I was fucking retarded after that. My coach was like, "You're not playing."
Yeah, there was one I got one in practice where it was just as a receiver going across the middle, got my bell rung by the linebacker, and I just remember it was like I felt fine until I was like walking away, like I was going back to the huddle and I was walking the opposite direction. They're like, "Yeah, it's over here," and I was like, "Oh, right." Like at that time, you're young enough to where it doesn't even like register. You're like, oh wow, I'm confused. But
right.
You're looking back. You're like, oh
yeah, that was fucked up. Yeah,
that's not good. That's
not good. That's why I'm like, how old? So how many kids are you got?
I got one.
Boy.
Yeah.
How old?
He turned 8 a couple months ago.
Okay, cool. So he's playing sports yet?
He's he's doing the whole like circuit of like I'm gonna try this year, try this that year. So he's done like the T-ball. He's probably gonna do basketball this year. He's like taking quite an interest in basketball.
Okay,
which is like that's cool. I mean, I played that growing up, so like I think that's a good one for him to play. I don't know if I'm gonna let him play football though. I'm
very skeptical. My son's only 3 right now.
Yeah.
But he'll sit on the couch and watch football with me and he loves it. And I'm like, it scares me just because like between my head and my back, like it's just a lot. And I'm like, I just don't know if I want him. I really want him to take up golf because he loves, dude. He'll go in the backyard with me when he'll hit his golf ball around the yard. And he'll fucking he'll get a hold of it too for a 3-year-old. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And he'll sit down and watch golf with me, which is insane. I'm like, I couldn't start watching golf till I was like probably like 4 years ago or something like that. And he'll sit down and watch it with me. He'll go grab his club and his ball while I'm watching golf. He'll be like, Dad, watch. Smack a ball across and smack the TV with his club. I'm like, yep, good follow through. Just back up from the TV.
Yeah. Like, we're starting to hit it. We got to go outside. Yeah. No, it's good though. Like you got to nurture that. Yeah. My kid's the same way.
I don't want to force it though. I want it to just be fun. So even if he doesn't want to play it seriously, I just want him to play it with me because I play with my dad, and it's it's something that hopefully one day we'll have 3 generations of Torgersons out there playing golf.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, it's the same for me. Like we were at a birthday party. One of my buddies had a birthday party for his 2 boys. And it was smart. He rented out a driving range. And so we went there and they catered in like pizza and stuff like that. And it was, they had the clubs, like all these like crappy like junior clubs set up and like just unlimited balls, coming out. And it was funny because they were doing the birthday cake. And I was standing there bullshitting with my buddies. And my kid runs up and he's like, hey, so we got an option. They're doing cake right now, or we can go back to playing golf. I'm going to go back to playing golf. And I'm like, turn down birthday cake for golf?
There you go.
Hell yeah, dude. I was like, all right.
Hell yeah. Do you play golf?
Yeah. Okay. It's pretty terrible, but I'm good enough to keep it going, have a great shot every once in a while.
There you go.
But, I'm not getting my tour card anytime soon. I just go out there and
what's your best round?
Let's see. So probably, I'm trying to think. I can't think of like best round for score. But I'm thinking about like best courses I've been to. That's a good question. I'm trying to think. What is... Dang, I wish I would have remembered the name of the course. There's a course I played in Wisconsin for one of my buddy's bachelor parties.
Geneva National? Grand Geneva?
No, that I know Evergreen? Of that one. No, I'm trying to remember. I'd have to look it up. It was we were out in the middle of nowhere. Where's Hawksview at?
Lake Geneva, kind of. Is it Lake Geneva or is it Fontana? I think it's Lake Geneva. It's it's literally right off of you take Route 12 and then you get off at 120. Or no, you get off at 120 in Wisconsin.
Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with the roads up there. That was probably one of my favorite ones though. It was just one of those days where it was just like everybody was shooting great. Like we were all like drunk, but it was like like sometimes you get like hammered and you're like, all right, the round's gone.
Yeah.
But it was like we were drinking,
Perfect.
but still hitting it. Just beautiful weather. It was just one of those days where you're like, dude, it's so nice to be out here, man.
I love those days. Dude, I had one of those 2 years ago. It was probably one of my favorite rounds of golf still to this day. We went and played Stonewall Orchard in Grays Lake.
Mm-hmm.
It's a US Open qualifying course. It's like
Okay,
it's
nice.
very expensive.
Yeah.
But we got a Golf Now hot deal.
Okay, nice.
So it was like $60 at 2:00 for 4 of us. So it was me, my buddy Justin, my brother-in-law, and my other buddy Brandon. And I was heading home from my birthday party to go to the tea time, and it was fucking like a fat storm was rolling, and it was in the middle of August, I think, or July. So it was fucking really hot too. It was a super hot, humid day, and we get there and it's fucking pouring. We run into the clubhouse, and they're like, I'm looking at the radar. I'm like, this is about to pass. Everybody's in their cars and gone. The parking lot's almost empty. It gets sunny like 30 minutes later, and they're like, there's one person, a single, you want to let him play first, and then you guys go ahead? And
So you just had the whole course.
We had the entire course, this prime fucking...
That's insane.
And we did a 4-man scramble, so nobody had to like really worry about pressure of taking their own shots. We were all playing each other's balls, and the fucking cart girl kept coming back around. We were doing fucking shots. It was a fucking 6-hour round of golf because we were just hanging out, having full blown conversations in the middle of the fairway.
Dude, that's awesome.
It was the best day ever.
It's a dream round right
there. It was
there.
so nice, dude. I was like, oh my God, dude. It was just so perfect. I'm like, you can't get a better day than that. Minus the fact that it was after all that fucking rain went away, it was 99 degrees out.
Oh, just crazy.
And 100% humidity. And I was wearing all black. Oof. I had a black fucking shirt, black shorts, black hat, black shoes. I'm like, dude, what am I doing? But you couldn't see any of my sweat.
I've done that most of the time. I mean, this is the most colorful outfit I own. So I get it when it's like 100 degrees and I'm like, why did I go with the black polo?
Right. Seriously, I have so many vibrant colored polos and like goofy fucking shirts. Why'd I wear black?
Right.
It was black, but it had like neon flamingos and pineapples and
cool.
and watermelon on it,
That's
so I had to wear it.
Yeah.
But
I actually have a white polo. I don't know if you know the brand Roan. It's like pretty nice for like polos and like shirts and pants and stuff like that. But that was from like a company that I had partnered with in the past. And so they brought, just gave me a free polo. And that's great. It's like lightweight. It's white. That's like the best. I'll probably only get like 3 good rounds out of it because then it'll just be like sweat stains you can see on the white. But
yeah, you won't catch me buying a white shirt, especially for golf, dude. Fuck that.
Yeah, well,
maybe
that's the thing.
Maybe a white pullover because fall or spring, so you're not sweating in it. But
well, that's the thing is it's only for golf because I'm not going to wear like some like, company branded polo out and about,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, totally acceptable on the golf course. So
yeah. It's the one thing that sucks about this whole injury thing going on right now. That's as much as I'll say about it. But golf, man. I love golf.
Yeah.
And I was in a league. I was playing every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I'd play a practice 9 before the league, and then we play 9 for the league. So I was playing 18 holes a week on the minimum. And then I was just figuring out my shit, man. I was just getting in my groove for the year. That mid fucking summer groove. I was fucking hitting good shots. Everything was great. And then, and I love fall golf.
Yeah.
Fall golf is my favorite. When you got a fucking, it's like 55, 60 degrees out.
Like October.
Nice crisp.
Like mid-October round.
Yeah, dude. You got pants on and a pullover.
Yeah.
And it's a little chilly in the morning. You got a fucking cup of coffee with you warming you up. Dude, it's so great.
Yeah.
A little shot of whiskey. Oh, man.
Dude, that's, right there. Like when it's like a weekend in October and you get like a nice, like,
8 a.m. tea
I was going to
time.
say like 8 or 9 a.m. So it's like, all right, hit the gym beforehand, get out there.
Oh, you ain't catching me at the gym beforehand.
I have to go to the gym. I'm like, that's like the one thing that I have in my life where it's like, this has to be done first and foremost.
I wish I had that still, dude. I had that throughout the Army. I had that from fucking 8th grade all the way throughout high school, all the way up throughout the Army, and then got out of the Army and was like, fuck this,
dude. A
dude.
lot of people say that because they were like, oh, you must have gotten that from like being in the Marines. And I'm like, kind of definitely. But I didn't lift in the morning in the Marines. Like, it was probably the same with you guys, where it was like you go up and you go run for like 5 miles.
Well, then I'd get off after work and I'd go lift for 2-3 hours after work.
Yeah, so I guess it wasn't necessarily like the lifting first thing. Because then, even after I got out of the Marines and moved back, I would still, I would still go to work first, and then I'd go meet up with my buddy at the Park District gym. And then we lift after work. I'm trying to remember when or why I switched over to the early. I don't know. It happened a couple years after I got out, but yeah, ever since then, it's like even on the weekends, like it's the first thing I do.
That's good.
You know,
I was trying to get back into it when I was working. I had literally gone 3 times in the morning in probably 2 months. But I have really bad insomnia. I can't fall asleep worth shit unless I take sleeping pills. And then it's a double-edged sword because the sleeping pills make it impossible for me to wake up early.
Oh yeah, for
so
sure.
I'm that guy that literally like I start work at 6:30. We don't have to be there till 6:30 in Woodstock, and I will wake up at 5:45, take a shit, brush my teeth. Sometimes I don't even shit. I'll just sleep in a little bit and I'll shit at work.
Yeah.
And then, dude, I work for the state. So it's like
company time, man.
Yeah. So, dude, I fucking literally, I'll get there in 30 minutes and I'm out the door in 10 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
I get my shit together, brush my teeth, fucking get dressed. I shower the night before.
Yeah. See, that's the one thing I can't.
I love showering in the morning. I'll wake up early every once in a while and shower. I'm like, why don't I do this every day?
Yeah.
But I fucking love the sleep.
Yeah.
I'm just a fucking sleep whore, dude.
Yeah.
So
I can't do the, like just roll out of bed and like start working right away. Like to me, it's like, it's just too, I don't know. I need like a little bit of distance between like when I'm happy and when I'm miserable at work.
Well, dude, I'm always, which sucks. I know I can, like, if I just woke up 10 minutes early, I could like take my time, but I'm always like, fucking go, dude. And it's been like that my whole adult life. I did that throughout all throughout the Army. Like, so we'd have morning formation right outside of our barracks.
You'd be the guy that I'd be yelling at. Like, come on, Torg.
Dude, I'm literally running down the stairs as people are forming up because I slept the fuck in.
There was always,
most likely still drunk.
Yeah, yeah. There was always at least, always the 10%. Always the 10%. They're coming out late. You got the squad leaders yelling at them from across.
Running down the fucking, because I was in Hawaii, so our fucking, our barracks, our stairs were like lanais. It was all outside.
Yeah,
so I'm running down, smoking a cig, running downstairs, going to fucking formation, drunk as shit. Me and my fucking buddy, dude. I swear to God, our whole platoon was just a bottle of liquor. I'm sure in the Marines, it's just as bad in the Marines. God, yeah. And yeah, every morning, dude, every morning was just a bottle of booze.
Yep. We had
went on so many, how many runs did you go on hammered?
Oh, all the time, dude.
Isn't that insane?
Even if you weren't.
How old were you when you got in?
I went in when I was 19.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay. I turned 19 in basic.
Yeah, so 2008 I went in. But yeah, I mean, there was, even if you weren't hammered, the 3 dudes around you all smelled like booze.
Oh, yeah. Dude, our platoon sergeant was fucking
drunk. I can
drunk.
still smell that, like that just the day-old alcohol scent sweating out of some dude's pores.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a guy who, when we went to DM school, we had like an initial like PFT to, you know, like on the first day. This dude, he was an athlete. Kid did jiu-jitsu, grew up playing sports. He was like a pretty like, you know, well put together guy. But for whatever reason, he was out the night before with like his now wife, or I think that's who it was, just hammered, shows up the next morning. And I was like, dude, we got a PFT this morning. He's like, I'll be fine. Ends up knocking out 20 pull-ups, 100 crunches.
Wow.
Record time for the run. This kid took off past me, and I swear he was swerving the whole run. Though he would just couldn't, but he just powered through it, got done. And I was just like, how did you? He's like, I don't know, man. I'm like, imagine having to do that right now. Nope. First thing in the morning, somebody wakes you up, you're still a little drunk from last night, and they're like, hey, Torg, you got to go run 5 miles.
I'd be like, no. My last 6 months to a year when I knew I was getting out, I fell out of almost every run. I'm like, after 5 miles, yeah. I'm like, fuck this. They're like, you're gonna get a counseling. I'm like, write it up, dude. Yeah. I'm out. I'm out of here, man.
Send it to my home of record.
Yeah, seriously. I'm like, I'm out of here, dude. Fuck this.
Yeah.
Go on fucking brigade runs for fucking 15 miles. I'm like, why?
I know.
And they were super slow too, so they were like even worse to run them because they're like fucking wrenching on your back.
Yeah, you get the shin splints from like just doing the truffle shuffle.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. Oh my God.
When I was getting out, I was like, I had kind of given up on the running portion of it, but I would just go to the gym like in the middle of the day. I was like a squad leader, so I'd like form up my squad, do like the morning like check-in, like, yeah, we're all up, everybody's good, nobody's dead. And then it was like, all right, stand by for word or whatever. I'd send the guys to go do whatever they were doing. And then I'd just go hit the gym from like 10 to lunch, then go grab lunch, and just hang out with the guys, you know, for a couple hours. And then at that time I was married, so I was living off base. So I was just like, all right, cool. Like, I'm going to take off at like 4.
Yeah.
You know, if something happens, call me. But like, you know, I'm only 10 minutes away. But yeah, that was, towards the end of it, it was like, I'm not
Where were you stationed at?
So I did all my like basic like infantry training, everything out in SoCal. So out at like Pendleton.
Yeah.
And then I was stationed East Coast the rest of the time. So I was in Virginia for first couple of years, and then down at Lejeune for the tail end of it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just stationed Schofield Barracks, Hawaii for 3 years.
Dang.
Got out, yeah.
Dang. Yeah, we had a couple of my buddies went out to Hawaii. They were out at 2-3 in K-Bay.
Okay. I went out to K-Bay quite a few times. The beaches out there are the best because they're not they're the calmer beaches because the westward side of the island they don't get as many. Like if you go to the North Shore, that's where all the fucking like pipeline surfing is and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the best fucking still to this day probably one of the best prettiest golf courses I've ever played was the K-Bay Marine course.
Oh, really?
It was, from what my buddy told me, it's the same course that Adam Sandler plays in
50 First
Dates.
Oh, no shit.
I believe so. That's what he said. But
That's
the whole front nine is like all mountain and like all mountain view and forest and shit. And the back nine is all ocean.
Dude, that's insane.
It was when I first started playing golf. I lost 17 balls that round. It was insane.
Dude,
and then like the 18th hole, there was like the 18th green was like right by this clubhouse, and like there's people out there drinking. I hit this beautiful fucking shot to like 2 feet, right? They're clapping. I'm like, that was like my 8th shot, dude. You have no idea. Like, I think I actually hit it for my buddy or something like that. Like, dude, you guys don't even realize. Like, I'm terrible. I've lost 17 balls. Oh my god.
Yeah, you didn't see the struggle to get up there. Yeah. That's not the shot you guys needed to see. That was, that's how the entire round was.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Oh my god. So we want to dive into a little bit of comedy stuff real quick?
Yeah, man. Let's talk about that.
So how long you been doing comedy?
Just over 2 years. I started July of 22.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And what got you to, like, how long did you want to, like, if someone always wanted to do, or did you just like see something that sparked it, or?
It was probably like there was always a feeling of like, it's kind of like how most people look at stand up. If they've never done it, they're like, I can do that. It's just a guy up there talking, right? I make my friends laugh. It was kind of one of those things. But that wasn't what I was expecting it to be. I felt like there was something else to it. Like, and that was kind of what drove me to get into it. Cause I was like, it's not just like standing up there and just talking. There's gotta be something else to it, or else everybody, cause I know a lot of funny people, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I've never had an issue with like public speaking.
Yeah.
Like I'm in sales, so it's like you got to be able to talk to people and be able to pick up on the room and everything like that. But yeah, it was funny. I definitely like hemmed and hawed about it for a few years. Like I remember thinking like a long time prior to that, like, I should do that. And then I just never did. And then a while like later, I'd be like, I should really give that a crack.
Yeah.
And then one day I just showed up to an open mic and just did it.
That was like basically the same situation as me. Like I was a class clown.
Mm-hmm.
But like all throughout high school, I thought about it too. I'm like, because I loved watching fucking Dane Cook. I grew up on him.
Yep.
Before Carlos Mencia stole jokes, I loved watching Mind of Mencia. That was a funny fucking show. I don't care who you are. It was a great show. I fuck Carlos Mencia, whatever, for stealing jokes. But that show was funny.
Yeah.
And then just like a couple other, I loved fucking comedy movies. I loved every Adam Sandler movie. Fucking, and then I was like, I took speech classes, like just public speaking classes pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Because I knew, I'm like, I'm good at that. That's an A easily.
Yeah.
And I aced every fucking speech class I took. And I'm like, the only reason I was comfortable with talking in front of people, but that's just because I had to for class.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I could force myself to fucking go and do it. But then I'm like, Shane Gillis really got me to fucking start, dude. I saw his YouTube special.
Oh, yeah?
His first YouTube special. I saw that. And then I was like watching Kill Tony a lot.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm going to try it. I was working nights and I wrote like a 10-minute set. That was my first open mic, was a 10-minute set.
Oh, dang.
I did it at a music open mic.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, at Mackey's Hideout in Island Lake. And I did pretty good.
What was the crowd reaction?
So there's about 10 people in there, and they were all laughing. It was great.
That was good.
And they were like, this one guy was like, how long you been doing stand-up? That was my first time. He's like, no way. I'm like, yeah.
That's a good feeling, man.
Yeah, then the second one went well, and then the third one and fourth one went fucking awful. Because like, dude, because that first set, I worked on that set for like probably like almost a year, and I like, rewrote it a bunch of times. Like I had written it like I had been working it out.
Right.
It was weird. Like I was making changes to shit. Like I hadn't even tested it yet.
Right.
And so like that set was like pretty solid. And then I tried to do new stuff, and I'm like, this is garbage, dude. Like I was trying to do like World War II jokes or some shit.
Yeah.
I had this one joke that I was trying to make a joke about like how all women watch like serial killer documentaries or whatever, and they're like, my wife's plotting to kill me or something like that. And the owner of the bar, I had no idea he was the owner, tries to heckle me and was like, well, how much are you worth? I'm like, what? He's like, your life insurance policy, how much is it worth? I'm like, I don't fucking know. He was a big fat dude. I'm like, I don't know, but I'm like, I bet you yours is a big life insurance policy because that's a lot of life to cover. And everybody's like, he's the owner. I'm like,
oh, wonderful.
That was the biggest laugh I got. And then everybody started talking. And I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
And then I started going to Laugh Out Loud was in Schaumburg was the first like club that I did.
Yeah, that was the first one I ever did.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah, because I lived right down the street from there at the time.
Sucks that it closed.
Yeah,
I liked going there on Sundays. I'd pay the $5, for the guaranteed spot.
Oh, right.
And guarantee myself a spot, and I'd go like 6th or 7th.
Yeah,
because that's when everybody's still there. Because I noticed with that one, once people do their set, they're out.
Yeah, a lot of people. It was just pop in there, do something. I mean, it's tough to do comedy on Sunday nights.
For sure.
You're trying to wind down, whatever. I liked it because it was like the proximity. It was cool to I could drive over there 10 minutes. Get up, do a few minutes.
It's a stage.
Yeah, it's a stage. There's booze there. There's people there. It was weird though because it was such a weird energy all the time.
It was.
You had a lot of. It's funny that we both that was the first open mic I ever did. It was the first venue open mic you ever did. But that's the first for a lot of people, which was weird. That place had more first timers than so many other clubs that
I think that was Blake's
open mics.
I think that was Blake's first comedy club too.
Okay, yeah.
He had done the writer's room before it was the writer's room, before it was the Gauntlet. He did the writer's room before it was the Gauntlet twice, and then the Gauntlet a bunch of times, and then that's the only one that he had done. Then we went to LOL. That was the first one he had done too.
Yeah. I remember him talking about that because when I met him at the Gauntlet, he was like, "Yeah, this is." I've only been doing this. This is like my 4th time or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, dang!" That's
and he
crazy.
won.
Yeah. And then friggin'. I saw him at LOL a few times. I don't know. I mean, they're popping up, they're dying. It's just kind of the circle of life with open mics and stuff.
I mean, and that sucks about the one up here. So we ended up having to put it to bed for the summer. I guess the owner said that I'm friends with the owners, so I'm not shit talking them by any means, but they were they weren't very transparent on what the issue was. They just said that they're dead in the summer, so
okay.
We'll pick it up in the winter. I'm like, why wouldn't you want to guarantee? We're guaranteeing you customers every week. So I think maybe somebody complained or something. Maybe they were getting more complaints than positive feedback from it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Blake and I were kind of relieved because it's a lot of fucking work running an open mic, and then you're married to that mic.
Yeah.
I was for a while there only going to my mic because I was working, and I was like, fuck, dude, it's like.
Well, it's the decision that a lot of people got to make. It's one of those things where, you see somebody start producing and then they start doing less performing.
Right.
Right. And then it's kind of like, well, and for the people that still want to, if you don't want to perform, then it's perfect. Yeah. Right. Because you already know what it takes to perform. You know, kind of what the comedian mindset is. So you can kind of tailor your show to that. Right. But yeah, if you still want to get up and do a few minutes, it's tough when you're I got to be out. I got my show that I'm doing this. And
what also sucked too, because when it was just the writer's room, we had a consistent audience every week. It was the same people, which was kind of cool and kind of not cool because it forced me to write new shit every week.
Oh yeah.
So I was forced. So that was a kind of cool part. But it's also a bad habit to get into, going to the same mic over and over and over again, doing it in front of the same people.
For sure.
So, but yeah, dude, the producing thing, man, I was not expecting that when Amy asked me if I needed help when I first started it.
Yeah.
And she had this vision for the Gauntlet. I had no idea what she was. I had an idea of what she wanted to do with it, and then for what it is now, it's huge now. But I was like, that was so cool to be a part of. But I was like, fuck that, Amy. I don't want any part. When it left the Gambler, she's like, you want to go to the next venue with me? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude, but I can't. It takes away from doing comedy for me, and I don't want it. I want it because I told her when she first started helping me, I'm like, I want to dip my toes and see this producing thing, what it's about.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I just want to do the comedy.
Well, how would you have known that if you didn't try it,
But I also put on a showcase out here at a bar in Johnsburg they ended up getting complaints because there was like the bars in like a neighborhood and like right next to neighbors, and there was cussing and kids and shit.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, they got complaints, so they couldn't do it again. But I would love to do that. I would love to put on like a monthly showcase somewhere. I can do that. I'm all about doing that.
Yeah.
But every week.
Yeah,
because Amy's putting on a fucking show every week. She's not just doing an open mic. She's putting on a fucking showcase every week.
Yeah,
it's like, and she's like, I mean, she's booking. I mean, she's going out and scouting. Like, she does a lot of work.
Yeah, shout out to her because I mean, I was at the.
She's coming back on here pretty soon. She was one of the. I think she was like episode 25 or something like that. I took that thing and it was me, Billy, Big Al, and Amy at Village.
Nice.
Before an open mic. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so she's been on it, and that's like when I first met her, and she just fucking roasted me for like 40 minutes, 40 minutes straight, just shit on me. I'm like, well, I'll have you back soon.
That's Amy.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Shout out to her. I was at
the
show. I was at the Gauntlet on Friday, and I mean that was a packed. It was like 30 people on the list. It was a packed out mic.
Yeah, I mean we were getting some traction up here too. I mean we were getting 15 probably on average, 10 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
But then there'd be nights where we'd have way more.
Yeah.
I mean, the finals nights were huge.
Well, especially being out this way. And it's, you were saying that earlier when we were getting going about how it's tough to get like, comedians that live in the city to get them to drive all the way out here and like the
especially when none of them have cars.
Right. Well, that's what's so nice about me is like I have the car and it's literally like 45 to an hour every which way I go. So
that's perfect,
if I came out here to the Vixen or to the Gambler, or if I was going down to like Batavia, or if I'm going into the city, it's like the same distance every way. The only thing that sucks is then I'm like committed to that one direction.
Right.
I can't be like, oh, I'll pop into the city. I've done that where I've like on a Wednesday where I'll go hit a mic in the city and then drive out to Batavia to catch the vault, later. And it's just
I haven't gone to there yet.
It's fun.
I haven't gone there yet, and I haven't gone to ComedyPlex yet.
I haven't gone to ComedyPlex. I've heard great things.
I've heard it's 3-minute sets though.
Well, that's it. Yeah, and that's how the vault is too. Yeah. You got to have like some like kind of bulletproof stuff or some like shorter one-liners that you're working on.
Yeah,
because that 3 minutes goes quick
for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna check out ComedyPlex here pretty soon, and then probably the vault as well. But this week I'm gonna probably go to Glenwood or Addison O'Neill's mic at Josephine's.
Oh yeah,
because Jerks is at a different place now.
Oh okay, yeah. So the Jerks moved to the Bit.
Yeah.
I didn't know Addison was opening up shop at Josephine's.
Yeah, so he's doing a mic there on Tuesdays now.
Nice.
So I might go there or Glenwood on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I'm gonna do the Red Room because I got to run I'm doing a 5-minute set on Friday in Janesville, and then a 8-minute set on Saturday in Ingleside.
Nice.
So I already have my 5-minute set. Like it's the 5-minute set that I was just doing at open mics after coming off of a break, and it has been killing. So I'm like, I'll just do that 5 minutes, and then I'll just add some new shit in the middle.
Yeah,
and then just close with the same closer. Then I'm gonna close with the 5-minute set. Just add some shit in the middle.
Yeah, there you go.
So
there you go.
I think like that 7 to 8 minutes. Like it's like such a comfortable like time slot.
Yeah,
for a set. But I don't know. I also do like, what's your longest set?
Definitely done 10 a couple times. Probably 15 was my longest.
Okay. I did 12 and a half at the Vixen. The last time I did it, I was told I got 10 to 12. And I did 12 and a half.
Oh, nice.
So that was the longest time. I mean, I did more at like fucking around at the writer's room.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
But like as far as like paid set, that was my longest was like 12 and a half.
Yeah.
That was actually kind of cool though, because like it was like the first time I had a full 12 and a half minute set that like flowed really well. It wasn't just random joke after joke. It all flowed. It all had something to do with the last thing I just said.
Yeah, that's the trick.
And it all tied
line the bits up,
and
so they're following.
It felt so cool. Like I had my notes up there, like just because I have this bad habit. I don't know if it's a bad habit. It's more of like a safety blanket. I'll bring up like a set list. I'll just have the titles of my jokes just in case. I'll put it on the stool. I hardly look at it. But just in case I catch like a fucking moment where I'm like, then I just look down real quick and then I just go back. Nobody really notices it. But it's something I don't want to depend on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as long as you can, I mean, I know the big trick is like to have your phone like doing the audio recording of your set and have the bullet points like on the screen.
Right.
Like that's a good little trick to have. But yeah, it's definitely good when you have like a longer set like that and you can place the jokes, so that they're following each other and it makes sense.
Right.
It also helps like with your like remembering where you're like, oh, okay, I know how this joke ends and it sets up this next joke.
Right.
it's kind of like you're telling a story that, it just helps you keep, because it is tough when you're talking about, grocery store problems, and then you're jumping over into like fantasy football, and then you're going over to being a dad. It has no like rhyme or reason. Right. But yeah, if you're talking about like, being a dad and how stressful it is, and it causes you to drink, and you can only drink it's just kind of like you've got a little bit of a storyline to it. It makes it way better.
Yeah, for sure. Well, speaking of that, how do you juggle being a dad and a comic? So are you a single dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got co-parent with my ex-wife.
Okay.
And she's like super close to like in proximity.
Okay.
So we split literally 50-50. And it's cool because, depending on who you talk to, there's different parenting plans out there. We went with the one where it's kind of like every other day and then every other weekend. So I see him all the time throughout the week.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's nice because I know that like Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm with him. Mondays and Wednesdays are for me, so I can go out and do shows. I can go out and grab a mic. And then every other weekend, it's like, hey, no, I can't. I'm not available that weekend to do a show because I got my kid.
So you're basically doing 2 mics a week for the most part, or 2 nights a week?
Yeah, so I usually get out. I usually get out like Monday, Wednesday. Try to hit a Thursday one if I can, because I'm only with him for a little bit. And then if it's like a non-kid weekend, I'll do like something on like Friday and Sunday.
Okay.
So I get out pretty regularly. It's just like I can never do, like when Jerks was at Josephine's, I can never go to that one because it's a Tuesday.
Right.
You know, so people are like, oh, come check out my show on like Tuesdays or Thursdays. And I'm like, sorry, but.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's an advantage to co-parenting for sure, because for sure you have your night where you're free.
Yep.
I'm in this predicament where thankfully I have the coolest wife in the fucking world, and she's like completely supportive. And she would let me go out 5 nights a week if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't want to because I personally feel guilty and I just love seeing my kids all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But with me not working at the moment, I'm able to spend all day with my kids, and then I can still go out at night.
Still go out, yeah.
But now that football's back on, I typically don't go out Sundays or Monday nights or Thursday nights. So I try to go Tuesday, Wednesday, and I try to hit 2 to 3 mics on each of those nights.
Okay.
Last week, stomach was fucked up. The week before that, back was fucked. I've just been all over the place. I've been on for 2 weeks, then off for a week, then on for 2 weeks. Then it's like I don't know. I'm having fun with it, back into it again. Yeah. I took a big break after my daughter was born.
Well, as you should, you know. That's the thing. A lot of people get, kind of like paranoid or like panicky, like, oh, I haven't gone up in like weeks. And it's like, dude, it's fine. Like,
it ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. I equate it just like how I do a lot of things in life. It's like the gym, right? Like, if you go once a week, okay, that's fine. But like, you're not going to see results, right? If you're doing one show a week, you're probably not going to see a lot of like progress with your joke writing or your like storytelling or whatever. But if you're going all the time, it's like, okay, cool. I'm in a rhythm. Like, I feel good. I'm getting stronger. I'm getting faster. I'm getting better. But just like the gym, if you go all the time, you're going to burn yourself out.
Yeah.
You can't like not work, not take care of your family. Like, you got to be able to, that kind of thing, or else you're going to end up kind of getting like comedy injured. You're going to lose like your like drive for it. That's the way I look at it. Cause I notice there's a big gap when I'll do like, a set on Monday and then I don't do another one till like Friday, which is what I did this week. And I noticed it where it was just like, I just felt like clunky. You know?
This is going to be weird for me because I have a show on Friday and I haven't done a set in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be really grinded out this week. I'm going to hit probably 2 mics on Tuesday. So.
Yeah.
And then 2 on Wednesday. I'm going to try to at least hit 2 Wednesday. If not, I'll hit 1 Thursday. Fuck Thursday night football for 1 week. I have a show to prepare for. It's a little bit more important.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's the thing. Luckily, a lot of places we go have it on TV.
There's one in Libertyville. So I can go to that mic. That's right down the street.
At the pizza joint, right?
Yeah. Dude, I haven't hit that one up yet.
They got some good pizza.
Do they?
Oh, dude. Yeah. I got they're like, it's like their special. It's like the spicy pepperoni. It's like hot pepperoni with like honey on it. Oh,
shit.
Oh, it's so good. All
right. Fuck, maybe I'll definitely have to go then. Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, yeah, man, I just, getting into I don't know. I'm in this weird spot. Like I said, it's just, I put myself through this guilt trip where I'm the only one that's feeling this way. My wife literally told me, she's like, I will tell you if you're going too much.
Yeah.
She's like, you're fine. You're a good dad. It's not like when you're here, you're ignoring your kids. You're with your kids. You're playing with them all the time. I'm like, yeah, I know. But Amy was actually the one that got me to like realize, she's like, dude, stop putting so much pressure on yourself for comedy. Like, you're a dad. Like, comedy's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, fair enough. So I've been really trying to, like, I'd rather miss an open mic than. One night I was about to leave for an open mic, and my 3-year-old was like, Dad, can you stay home? I'm like, yeah.
It's tough. It's tough when
I'm like, yeah,
when
I'll stay. I'm like, you don't even have to argue. Yes, 100% I'll stay home. If you want me to stay home, I'll stay home.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I love comedy, it's like my passion. I mean, I'm picking my kids, obviously, over. And, you know, I will never, I don't know. I love comedy, but yeah, I love being a dad way more.
Yeah. It's definitely cool. It's definitely
a lot of free material too.
Oh my God, dude, there's been so many times where I'm like, dude, all my like jokes about being a dad like hit really well. Like they do really great in front of like any type of crowd. But it's like, boy, like that, I hope that's not like my only trick. Like I feel like I could tell other jokes. But yeah,
I'm trying to lean into that actually, the dad material, because I have a lot of dad material too.
Yeah.
And people seem to eat it up.
Right.
Everybody loves it.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people have their own kids.
Right.
It's easy to talk about kind of the frustrations, you know, but, and it you know, it's something where it's like, you know, I mean.
I feel like the older crowd too, like hearing it from a younger dad too. They're like, listen to this guy's fucking, I went through that, you know, years ago, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you know.
For sure.
So.
Well, yeah, definitely it's a way to bridge the different generations. You know, like
for sure.
The older people like it because they were parents, they've been parents, you know. The younger people it's funny though, because you got to be careful. A lot of the mics that I do, like you're in the city, it's a younger crowd, and those jokes do not work. Not because they don't think, it's just like there's no relativity. Yeah, exactly. They're like, you know, I was doing that the other night. I was like, all right, I'll do some of these ones that I know are really good. There's a new room, so I was doing those, and I'm like, I'm not getting anything back from the crowd. And then I'm like, hey, make some noise if you guys are parents. And like one lady gave me the slowest, saddest clap. And I was like, run with it. And I was like, oh, nice. Do you like smoke pot? And she was like, no. And I'm like, I was like, well, you guys are going to hate me then. Like, Jesus. Because I talk about that. I talk about, you know, being like a dad who also indulges in weed, you know, on my off time. And it's like, yeah, that's like such a funny little happy mashup. Yeah, but yeah, if the crowd doesn't connect.
that joke you got about watching cartoons with your kid.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
That one that's one of those ones where it can usually do really well, you know, wherever I'm at. But
yeah, not gonna find that too much at my buddies on a Sunday.
Yeah, right.
Take a shower. Everybody is.
Dude, that's what I mean. It's like
they don't have kids.
Yeah. They don't, right? That some of those places are, I mean, I'm all about trying and going to some places,
right?
But it's also like, I'm not going to put myself through that, you know, not just that place in particular, but it's just like, you got to know where your crowd is.
Right,
you got to know where your audience is.
See, it's weird too, man. I've had some jokes that like killed at that specific room at my buddies. I've said it before on the podcast, but killed at my buddies and then didn't do shit at the Vixen. It was a black joke. And it got crickets at the Vixen. No, not crickets at the Vixen. It got except for one dude at the end of the night came up to me. He's a black dude and he's like, hey man, that blackfish joke you told? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that was my favorite joke of the night. Keep telling it.
Dude, see,
I'm like, okay.
That's the thing.
It was all white people that moaned and groaned about it. I'm like, dude.
That's one of those things that I'm still kind of working through, is that a lot of my edgier jokes, they don't do terribly, but yeah, they get like the groans and stuff like that. And it's always the edgy jokes. They always get the groans from like the older white crowds. And I'm like telling other comics to like, dude, that was kind of ballsy. And I'm like, listen, man, like I worked this out at Shaker's late night on Monday when all of Derek's black friends show up. And it's like, if I'm doing that there and getting feedback from them, like I feel like that's doing it the right way.
For sure. Yeah.
It's just one of those things that's really, and it does well in those rooms. It's just, it's weird when it's like the older white crowd where it's like, I don't know if they're like, they feel bad for like laughing, or it's like, guys, I'm not saying
laughing
anything.
And looking over their shoulders. Like, can I laugh?
And it's like, it's one of those things too, kind of like we were joking. It's like, I'm not saying anything explicitly, like definitely not saying anything like the N-word, you know?
Right, absolutely.
It's just, it's weird when it's like, you guys aren't listening to what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like that's, because I'm very particular with a lot of jokes where I'm like, say it in a way where the implication is there, but I didn't say it.
Right.
That was you that thought that. Like, you're the fucked up one.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of might what it be like. People are like, oh, I don't want to laugh at this. That makes me a terrible person.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah, no, that makes sense.
but don't fight the laughter if it's there. I had that the other night. Kind of similar to what you just said, where, get done. I'm at the bar, I'm getting a drink, and this guy who was in the audience comes up. He's getting a drink too, and he goes, hey, man, I just wanted to say, like, your German accent is like spot on. It's like really funny. And I wanted to be like, well, then laugh harder next time.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Like, don't come up and be like, hey, you were so good. It's like, laugh. Like, that's how you tell me if I'm doing good.
Right, exactly.
It's still like, I was like, I appreciate it or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it is funny, the different venues, how you get the different reactions for the exact same bit.
Yep.
It's really interesting.
It's wild. It doesn't make any sense. And it's so hard to pick up on it too. It's like, this should work. It just worked. It worked an hour ago with the last mic I was at. Yeah. And then it bombs. I'm like, whatever, dude.
You ever told the same exact jokes in the same bar a week later and they don't work?
Yes.
That's a weird one. Because I'm like, we haven't changed up anything. It's the same.
Literally, I told the same exact joke, same exact way. Different crowd, different. Yeah, nothing. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. That's, you know what though? That's the fun of it. It's like,
it's all
trying things out.
Error,
It's literally like every single time. Like, it's kind of like an Evel Knievel like motorcycle jump. You're like, I've practiced this. I've done it a bunch of times.
Exactly.
It could go horribly wrong this time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just got to do it.
Yep. That's the only way to find out. It's like when I'm sitting there looking at a new joke. I'm like, fuck. I wonder if this is gonna work. Only one way to find out. Go up there and fucking tell it. And I'm like, God, I knew that was fucking stupid. I knew I should have left that in the notebook. Fuck. I hate telling. I love telling new jokes, but I hate it. I get so nervous, dude.
Yeah,
I get so nervous.
You know what? Yeah, I think we all do. I think that's what, like, I think every good comedian still gets nervous.
But then you fucking get that one that's new, and then that becomes one of your fucking bangers. Oh, yeah. That's the best feeling, dude.
You're like, it's like after you like eat a great meal after not eating for a while, you're like, all right, I'm good. Like, I could go for a little while now.
I had a storytelling joke. The last set I did at the Vixen. It was my second joke. I told it one time before at Village, and it did really good. I'm like, this is a funny story. If I deliver it like that, it'll kill. And I delivered it exactly like that, and it killed. I was like, that's pretty cool. Fucking second time ever telling that story. It was like a 1.5-minute story.
Yeah.
Second time ever telling it in front of 200 people on a Friday night.
Dang.
And I was like, I'm going for it. Fuck it. And killed. I was like, oh. That felt good. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can use that. Because, like, that's basically, I'm like a storyteller guy kind of pretty much right now. Occasionally I'll throw in like a topical joke, but like, I'm just stories right now, you know? Yeah. So, but like, it's so cool when, I feel like a storytelling, I'm cool with being a storytelling comedian though too, because that's like an art, trimming down a fucking story.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge.
Or adding punchlines throughout story.
Well, that's the thing. It's a challenge to keep that attention.
Exactly.
For that, that long of a time. But yeah, if you can get everybody like on the hook and then just, keep throwing little zingers in there and
for sure.
Then that's awesome. I mean, some of my favorite jokes from like the pros like were stories, like long stories. Yeah. I mean, look at like, it's probably been said on a million times on podcasts everywhere. Look at what the machine story did for Bert.
Right. Yeah.
That literally put him on the map with so many different people. Movie. Yeah, exactly. And it was just like he just took a story from his real life experience, probably jazzed it up here and there, but like made it so that it was like, I mean, I don't know how long that story is, but like
it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
10-minute story.
You're engrossed for the entire time.
And everybody, he tells it at every show. Every show at the end of every show, apparently he tells it at the end. Yeah,
well, that's what happens with certain bits.
It's like asking goddamn Leonard Skinner to play Freebird.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool to have that type of fucking like you have a fucking big hit one. He's not a one hit wonder. But
no, but like you've got
his big hit, classic fucking platinum joke.
Right, for sure.
So that's that. Yeah, that's.
I'd be mad if I went to go see him.
Yeah, you didn't hear that story. Yeah, you'd be pissed.
Right.
But I think we're almost out of time. Like I'm your therapist. I think that's all we got time for. But you got any shows you want to plug? This comes out Friday. So
nice. Yeah, nothing before then. But a couple things coming up on the horizon. Probably going to be working with Jason Seiler down at his show in nice. Yorkville. Sweet. Coming up, and then. Yeah, just trying to get some, just doing the grind like everybody else. Just sending out the clips, if you're a booker and you're watching this, hit me up. I'm always down for a good time. So, Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to the fall, towards the winter. Like everything slows down in the summertime for comedy. So now that we're kind of getting out of that, and
I like wintertime, dude. It's fucking, cause those rooms get hot, literally.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. And I don't have to worry about wearing pants to an open mic in the middle of July.
Yeah.
Because I don't wear shorts on stage, dude.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
dude. I don't do that anymore. I did it
one
at the
time.
beginning, and I was just
I did
like,
the same here. I'm like, nah, I don't see anybody wearing shorts on stage.
Yeah.
No thanks.
No. It's nah.
It's exposing. Yeah, nobody needs to see these. But yeah, no, I got a show on Friday the 20th in Janesville. And I don't even know where it's at in Janesville. I don't think anybody's gonna go, but it's in Janesville. I'll post about it on Facebook and Instagram. And then I got a show on Saturday the 21st. It used to be called The Tank. I don't know what it's called now. I'm fucking terrible at plugging my own shows. And then I was supposed to actually do Amy's show on the 20th of October, but with my surgery being on the 16th, she's gonna push it back for me. So to be determined on that date. And then thanks for coming, dude. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, dude.
Fun.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Time.
We'll do it again. And let's hopefully the Bears can pull off a fucking W tonight, dude.
We'll see, man. The both the Vikings and the Packers won today, so we gotta get a win.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a competitive year.
But yeah, man, like I said, thanks for coming. And,
dude.
All right, guys. Till next week. See ya.